Hey, this is Pastor Greg sitting in a 100-year-old cabin with some thoughts for you as we approach Thanksgiving. Hey everyone, I'm hanging out in a very cool old cabin built 100 years ago, and it's here in the mountains of North Carolina. I'm at the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove. You can see my fire in the background. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the holidays. You know, Christmas is coming. That's pretty obvious. But one holiday that often gets overlooked is Thanksgiving. What I like about Thanksgiving is it's not about shopping and having to get gifts for people. Thanksgiving is about, well, hopefully if we get it right, it's about giving thanks. It's a time when we get together with family and friends and do what Americans really love to do, and that is eat together. You know, the first Thanksgiving was signed into law by President George Washington in November of 1789. And it was a little different than the Thanksgiving of today. The Pilgrims got together with their Indian guests, and it lasted for about 3 days. They didn't have the same menu that we have now. Of course, we have all those killer Thanksgiving fixings like the turkey. And then there's the mashed potatoes. And then there's the sweet potatoes. And in our home, we have sweet potatoes with melted marshmallows on top. That was always my son Christopher's favorite. And then there's gravy on the potatoes and on the turkey. And of course, don't forget the cornbread stuffing and all the green beans and the rest of it. And then for dessert, I think it should be signed into law that we eat pumpkin pie, don't you? Now, when they had that first Thanksgiving, they ate some really strange stuff. Eagles? They ate eagles? Is that even American? But they were celebrating in a different way, but the idea was right. It was a day set apart to give thanks to God, and that's what we need to remember right now, that this is a day coming, and this is a season when we all ought to give thanks to the Lord. So what is the purpose of Thanksgiving? Well, it's not just to have a great meal with family and friends. The purpose of Thanksgiving is to give thanks. The Bible says, "Give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, and his mercy endures forever." Now think about that for a second. Give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. It doesn't say, give thanks to the Lord when you feel good. You know, sometimes they'll say, well, I have problems right now, and challenges in the home, or unpaid bills, or I'm sick. Okay, you know, I'm sure that's true. And I know we all have our struggles and challenges, but the Bible says, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good and his mercy endures forever. That's the thing to keep in mind when we come to offer praise to God. The Bible also says that we are to offer to God the sacrifice of praise continually. And you know what? Sometimes praise is a sacrifice. Sometimes we're not in the mood, but we should do it anyway. Why? Because God made us to do this. That's the reason we're on this earth. We are put here on this earth to know the God who created us and live in a relationship with him. So as we approach Thanksgiving and ultimately Christmas, let's not forget what our focus ought to be. Give thanks to the Lord. Something to think about.